Good morning. Happy Friday. It's me again, Jen. And I hope all of you are doing well and you're healthy and feeling good. And I hope the weekend brings you some sort of joy and relief from the craziness of the world. And hopefully we'll get a interesting card today. Got some cards kind of trying to jump out. All right. So it is Friday. It is the 26th of June. And I am excited to see what card we bring out today. So next week, I'm only going to be doing like 2 more from the Sakki Tarot deck, and then I think I have picked a new deck. I'm going to keep it a surprise, though, for July. And we'll get into something fun and interesting, although this deck has been a lot of fun to read from. So, all right, let's see what we got. Ta-da! There we go. The world. This is the card. So I don't know if I ever showed you guys the box. That's the card in the box. Look at it. Isn't that cool? I love world cards. They are so cool. So this one does have some symbols on it. It has, I'm going to use my little cheat sheet here. It has Saturn. Well, that's an interesting one to have on there. The Saturn is kind of way down in the corner. I think you can see it. Way down in the corner, there is Saturn. And also, right there is, that is a Hebrew letter. I think it's Tav, maybe? Somebody call me out on that one. I will say that I'm leaning towards it being Tav because I think that's the 22nd letter of the Hebrew alphabet. And this is card 21. And we know that the Fool makes 22 in the Arcana, and we did have a symbol on the Fool card. So I'm thinking that this is the 22nd letter, and that's probably the most I know about this letter. So if you have anything else to add about that symbol, I'm totally open because I don't know a lot about that symbol. But I do know it's the 22nd one. And I'm kind of basing that knowledge on the fact that so far, when we have pulled a major arcana card and it has had a Hebrew symbol on it, it's been +1 numerically. So that's really cool. And now I understand why. So maybe that's the only meaning attached to that. I don't know. Maybe I've been trying to equate a lot more energy into what those symbols mean other than, hey, we just put the number in a different way. You've got Roman numerals, you've got Hebrew numbers, and you've got the world being the 21st, number 21, but actually the 22nd card in the cycle of the Arcana. And in the cycle of the Arcana, this is basically your ending card. So all of the things that the Fool has gone through has gotten him to this point. So all of the adventures that your characters have gone to, all of the adventures that you have gone through have gotten you to the point of this happy ending, or sometimes not so happy ending, but it is the ending. And so it's kind of a culmination card. It's a coming together of all the knowledge that you have, all the things that you know how to do, all the things that life has taught you up to this point, bring you to this card. This card is a little bit different than some of them that I've seen. Usually there are some symbols in the 4 corners of these cards. And in this case, it doesn't have that. It just has this really wild, funky dancing girl who's like, I don't know, it doesn't look like she's actually holding the world. I'm not sure if she's dancing in front of it or she kind of looks like she's about to spin it or throw it or something. But there is a ship on the top sailing. There are stars shooting through the sky. The number itself is kind of surrounded by what looks like a sun or a solar flare like thing. And there are some clouds and wispiness and stuff like that happening. And I just think that this is a really funky card. I really like it. I love the color too. It's super bright. So when I see this one, it's going to probably make me think happy thoughts. This is probably going to be one of those cards, those world cards, that when you pull it, your brain is immediately going to go, oh, this is happy, this is good, this is a culmination of all things great and wonderful. So what I do find interesting is the ship itself has 1, 2, 3 sails, and up in the corner we've got some stars, and there's 1, 2, 3 of those. So that's kind of neat that that has pulled in the threes again. And being that this is the 21st, numerically 21st card, so divide that by 3 and you get sevens, and sevens are lucky, and sevens have a lot of meaning numerologically. I can say that word today. Happy Friday. Hey, and it's Friday. Friday is associated with sevens. Isn't that cool? So we have all kinds of like happy, lucky things happening today. This is a good card. I like it. I like it very much. It's a happy card. Also, let's see. Oh, I guess we're going to go into the Saturn thing. I think of Saturn kind of more as like a death or a reaper sort of card, but I do see how maybe it kind of brings that ending in terms of like maybe that's kind of symbolic of the other side of this, which would be a bit more destructive in the world, where things topple and fall apart. But for the most part, the world card is a positive, auspicious, we'll say auspicious card. That's a big word of the day. Go ahead and look that one up if you have to. Totally not dumbing this down or anything. That's my big word of the day too. The the world card is usually very auspicious, very good, very pleasant things happen with the world card. I love to see this card at the end of a reading. I also really love to see this card kind of in that space of what's going on inside the person. So maybe I'll go over and do some fun stuff about spreads, tarot spreads, and different things you can learn about those in future episodes. Shall we call these episodes? And we'll talk about how placement of certain cards is really fun and interesting, especially when it comes up in a full big spread, not just like a past, present, future kind of thing. But also, it's interesting to have this card show up in obstacles, and that I'm going to kind of focus on just for a second here. When this card comes up as an obstacle, it's a bit more of, it's kind of the weight of the world on your shoulders. There's so much happening and so much culminating together at the same time. It can be heavy. It can be stressful. So the reason why this can be a inauspicious card, there's that again, totally my word of the day. I don't know. But when it comes up and it's not in a good place, or it's inverted or something of that nature, it's that weight of the world. It's that Atlas sort of situation. It's not a good place to be. But when we drew it today, it was upright, it's happy, it's good, and I hope that this means that the weekend is going to be fabulous for everybody. I only have 2 more cards to read for the month of June, and then we're going to move on to something else. If you really loved the Sakki-Sakki Tarot cards, please feel free to leave a comment below, or check out my website and let me know that you want to either do a reading with them or you want to learn more about them. Maybe I'll do a whole other thing about these in a few months when we can kind of track back to some more interesting things. Maybe I'll do a compare and contrast to some different card decks. But either way, I hope all of you have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Please stay safe, stay healthy, be good to one another, and I hope to see you well again on Monday. Bye!